You've been lifting, you've been eating better. Now it's time to bring it all together and get the results that you've been chasing. So, welcome to video number 4, the final video of how to look like you lift workshop. In this final video, hopefully you've been enjoying this series. Today, I'm going to be showing you the step-by-step plan, how to take everything that we've learned and discussed over the last 3 videos and put them into action so that you can finally look like you lift, all right? So, over the past 3 videos, we've covered the most important keys to making your muscles actually show. So, video number 1, we talked about why you're not seeing definition and the biggest mistakes that are keeping you stuck. In video number 2, we talked about how to train for visible muscle and not just worry about burning calories. In video 3, we talked about the nutrition shifts that you need to make in order to finally start seeing the muscle definition instead of starving it away. Now, let's tie it all together into one simple blueprint that you can follow. This is the exact 3-step plan that I use, like I said, for all of my clients and all of my peeps inside of the Eat More to Weigh Less training app, and now it's yours. So, step number 1, the biggest thing that you want to take from the last 3 videos is to train with intent. That means stop guessing. Stop piecemealing things together from random places, from YouTube, from Pinterest, from Instagram, from wherever, from your brain, from books that you find in magazines and all of those things. You don't want to guess anymore. You want to follow a structured strength hypertrophy focused plan, not just random workouts. Random workouts equal random results. We're not looking for random results. We are looking for a specific result, and that is visible muscle, right? So in order to do that, you need to be tracking your weights, okay? So that means you need to know 2 months ago how much you lifted so that you are progressing in every session. So if you know what you did 2 months ago and you're still lifting that way now, that means you are not in a strength rep range, you are not in a hypertrophy rep range, you are not making visible muscle-based decisions. You are opting out of the muscle mindset and you're just in that same mode, right? So we want to make sure that you are progressing in every single session. In order to do that, you need to be tracking every single workout. So follow the structured plan, track your weights, prioritize big lifts. Remember we talked about that? You want to prioritize your big lifts. That's your squats, your deadlifts, your overhead presses, your bench presses, those compound movements, the ones that work multiple muscle groups at once instead of just focusing on the isolation moves. There is a time and a place for isolation moves, but if you don't know when those are, you want to focus on the big lifts, okay? The other ones are more accessory moves, and when the time comes, they will pop up and they will have some use to you. But in the beginning, you just want to focus on those big lifts for maximum results. Okay. So the second thing, so the first one is to train with intent and to stop guessing when it comes to your workouts. The second piece was to eat for muscle visibility. We're not just eating to shrink and shrinking everything in the process. We're not just eating to see the scale go down at any cost. We're not just dieting because some new style of eating is cool. We are training for specific purpose. We are eating with a specific purpose. So your purpose is for muscle visibility, which means you have to fuel. You cannot starve yourself. You cannot starve and cut out things randomly when you actually need them for your progress. So remember, we talked about protein, non-negotiable, has to be a part of your regimen, no matter how you get the protein in, whether you're a carnivore, an omnivore, an herbivore, it doesn't matter how you get in your protein, but you will get it in. Protein, non-negotiable. Remember, we talked about that 0.8 gram to 1 gram per pound of body weight, leaning towards the 1 gram per pound of body weight goal every single day. And we talked about carbs. We want to use smart carbs. So we want to get in carbs post-workout and pre-workout specifically. And we want to make sure that we're getting smarter with those carbs and incorporating fiber. So we want to make sure that you're eating carbs in a way that's supporting your performance, but also your want and drive and need for muscle definition, right? So that you can get the strength and you get the definition from your workouts. So that means no extreme dieting cycles, nothing crazy. You're just fueling your body for performance. So the same way you were training with intent, now you're eating with intent. And the third thing would be to recover. And while you're recovering, you want to make sure that means that you're tracking the right metrics. So it's not just about, how many workouts can I get in, doing 2-a-days, doing, multiple circuit type workouts or supersets or something like that. You want to make sure that you're tracking the things that matter. Are you getting in your lifts? Are you getting in your rest and recovery days? And when we're talking about tracking the right metrics, that also means paying more attention to progress photos, strength gains, how your clothes fit, body fat percentage, things of that nature. So remember, we're going to recover because that's what equals growth. We're not skipping that. And we're tracking the metrics that matter. That means the weight that you're doing, not your weight on the scale. That means is your strength going up? How are your meals looking? How are your clothes fitting? Are you taking progress pictures? Are you getting DEXA scans? Things of that nature, instead of obsessing over the scale and just running yourself into the ground with your workouts, okay? Sleep and stress management are just as important as your workouts. So those are the big 3 steps to bringing this all together. Train with intent, eat for muscle visibility, recover and track the right metrics. So if you follow that plan, you will see changes. You have to be consistent at those things. That means you have to put on blinders and block out most of the things that you're hearing about and seeing about when it comes to looking for fat loss and when it comes to trying to figure out how to eat or work out for fat loss. Those changes can come pretty quickly depending upon where you are in your journey, but the point is you may not always know how quickly. You may not always know how long do I need to do this. And so that's where a lot of people start to kind of lose steam because they're like, how much longer do I need to do this? So that could be the harder part, is that you're doing it all alone, which you don't have to. As I've mentioned in all of these videos, the EM2WL training app is available to you, and that takes all the guesswork out of the workouts. Everything is done for you. Workout programs, there's nutrition guidance on every single phase that you're in, and there's ongoing coaching and support and live calls and things like that that I do with the community to make sure that you're staying on track and you can finally see the muscle definition that you're working for. And right now I'm actually creating a program for that community called How to Look Like You Lift. So that we touched on the surface of a lot of that in this free series, but that is going to be a program that I will be offering. It'll be $97, so you can always purchase that of it's in and of itself. But if you were already thinking of joining the Eat More to Weigh Less community, this will be a great time because you will get that $97 program for free when joining, in addition to, like I said, all of the other goodies that we have available for you inside of the Eat More to Weigh Less training app. So not only will you have a lot of those done for you pieces and somebody to ask questions to about your nutrition and how to match your eats with your exercises, but you'll know that all that part is already spelled out for you, and you'll have the full version of this course, which I know we just kind of touched the surface of a lot of the topics today, but we'll actually have a more in-depth version of how to look like you lift and the support to go along with it. So the time period that I'm going to offer it for free is going to be limited. So if you're watching this after the fact, you can always just go and either do one or the other, or hop into the group and access the training app, see how you like that, or you can always purchase the How to Look Like You Lift program by itself. So I would suggest jumping in and getting it for free while you can. I wouldn't wait. Take full advantage of it so that you can have that support system instead of having to DIY it, because a lot of times, like I say, that's the hardest part of this journey, is constantly questioning and second guessing yourself. So if that's you and you want to be able to have someone to have that conversation with, then hop on in the app and shoot me a DM inside of the app and we can get some of your questions answered there. If not, then I would love to see you inside of the How to Look Like You Lift full course that I'll be releasing shortly. I'll be sending more information about that when it's available. So thank you for joining, and I can't wait to see you either inside of one of those or in the community. So either way, thank you so much for joining me in the How to Look Like You Lift workshop. I hope you took tons of notes. If not, go back through and rewatch the videos and take notes. But this video should have done a pretty good job of recapping all of the pieces so that you can put it together and go forth and look like you lift. Thank you guys for joining, and I'll see you in the community.